Hello everyone, how's it going? I'm WoWcrendor, and welcome back to another patch note reading. We have done the Burning Crusade, we have done Classic WoW, and now we are on to Wrath of the Lich King. In my last video for Wrath of the Lich King, or for the Burning Crusade, a lot of people said the music was a little too loud, so I've turned the music down, but it's still there in the background. And let's read some patch notes, alright? So we've got patch 3.0. The P's kind of cut off, but that's alright. Echoes of Doom, Wrath of the Lich King. So, this was October 4th, 2008. And the patch that hit had new class spells and talents, Stormwind Harbor, barber shops in capital cities, Zeppelin towers outside of Orgrimmar and Tirisful Glades, 2 brand new arenas featuring challenging new layouts, terrain hazards, and moving obstacles, guild calendar, hunter pet skill revamp, and a new profession, inscriptions. Let's take a look at that patch. So we've got all players will have their talent points reimbursed because they redid the talent trees. The Kirin Tor have made their move, and so has Dalaran. Please watch your step around the crater. It has been left behind. I remember that was such a big deal. Everyone was like, oh my god, Dalaran's gone, and you like went to look for it, and it was just missing, and it was just up in the air. This was Wrath of the Lich King. Thinking back to it, this was still when old WoW was intact. The Cataclysm hadn't even hit yet, and that kind of didn't register in my mind for a bit, because I was like, oh yeah, you know, that'd be weird, because like and I was like, hold on, this was old Azeroth. So that's kind of crazy in my mind. I don't know why I'd never thought of that. The barber shop, I remember when they introduced the barber shop. That was pretty great. I still like the barber shop. It's pretty cool. All new achievement system has been implemented. Ah, yes, this is when they added achievements. If you ever saw how to win at achievements, it's one of my favorite videos I ever made. It's definitely in the top 10. I think it was a good one. Stormwind Harbor is now open for business. Ah, the old Stormwind Harbor. I played Horde, so I didn't really care much about Stormwind Harbor, though, but new towers have been added outside of Org and Tirisful Glades. Currently working to establish new Zeppelin routes Northrend. Oh yeah, this is when the towers were still outside of Orgrimmar. I still, to this day, will go outside Orgrimmar and be like, oh wait, it's inside. And then have to go back to the inside towers. A new entrance is now viewable in Caverns of Time. Cool. Hit rating, crit, and haste now modify both melee attacks and spells. Interesting. That didn't used to be a thing. Spell casting and spell channeling pushback has been changed to the following. When casting a spell, the first and second hit will add 0.5 seconds each cast to the cast time. All hits after the second will have no effect. And then there's some other things with channeling, spell power, healing. Known issues. Shaman. The tooltip for Maelstrom Weapon is currently incorrect. Lava Burst will no longer gain any benefit from any rank of Maelstrom Weapon. Wah, wah. Let's see. Anything crazy down here? These are all just class changes. I mean, you can spend like hours on the class changes. There's so many. Let's see. What's down here? Usually you find some crazy stuff when you go down here. PvP. Here's professions. New profession, Inscription. Enchantment. The sure-footed enchantment now provides additional crit instead of root and snare resistance. Snare, not stare. I'm resistant to stairs. 2 new arenas, Orgrimmar and Dalaran Arena. Buffs that have 30 seconds or less remaining will be removed once the game starts. However, the mage spell Invisibility is not affected by this change for arenas. Let's see. Dungeons and raids. The all raid dungeons from Karazhan to Sunwell Plateau, as well as other outdoor encounters of Doomlord Kha'Zix and Doomwalker have been adjusted, and now all creatures and bosses have less health points and do less damage. Babying the game. Encourage. Mounting is now permitted in Encourage. The Black Quaraji Resonating Crystal is now a normal mount. User interface. New calendar feature. Players will be able to access the new calendar by clicking on the icon located in the top right. Oh, this is when they added the calendar into the game. That's pretty nice. I've enjoyed the calendar. Speaking of which, I was looking at the calendar the other day and I was like, oh my god, only like one more month till the Midsummer Fire Festival. I don't know why I love it so much. I think it's because I've done something with it every year. Like Midsummer Fire Festival's just, it reminds me of like the start of, the start of Lord of the Rings, which I guess this is kind of like a fire festival anyway. where they're having all the fireworks and having a party. It reminds me of that, and it gives me a good feeling. And so every time there's a Midsummer Fire Festival, I think of like the warmth and the heat and like riding around WoW. And I think I had some weird nostalgia with air conditioning, because I was like, oh my god, it's so hot outside, and I'd go inside to the air conditioning and play WoW and do the Midsummer Fire Festival stuff. I just have a lot of nostalgia with it. Because you could be like, Crendor, why do you have so much nostalgia about putting out fires and lighting fires in WoW all over Azeroth? That's part of the reason. So yeah. It's not even in the patch notes, I just brought it up. New vanity pet and mount changes. Players will now be able to access their non-combat pets and mounts by clicking on the Pets tab. Oh yeah, this is when they added that. A new aggro warning is available. Focus frame is now available. Lost tabards may now be restored by visiting a tabard vendor. Let's see. Lost keys may now be restored by a blacksmith. Oh, wow. I didn't even know that one. Error messages should be played less frequently. Trade skills can now be linked by shift clicking. Quests can be shared with party members at any distance. Quests can be shared in raids but not battlegrounds. Randomized daily quests may now be shared. A 5-minute timer will now appear over the player unit's frame, showing the countdown until PvP flag is cleared. The cower emote now has an animation. Wow. Shift clicking to loot mail. You can now hold... Oh yeah, you weren't even able to shift click to loot mail. That's kind of crazy. Druid and Shaman can now use items while shapeshifted. And that was pretty much that patch. So let's back it up. Let's see what else. Minor bug fixes. Many bug fixes, class balancing, so there's some normal stuff here. Let's go up to the 3.1 Secrets of Wooldoir. Wooldoir. Argent Tournament with the Argent Tournament grounds. Dual talent spec, many class changes. So this was a big patch. This was Wooldoir, man. I love Wooldoir, one of my favorite raids. I think a lot of people's favorite raid. Secrets of Wooldoir. Since discovering Wooldoir and the Storm Peaks, adventurers have journeyed to the Titan City to learn more about its mysterious past. Further exploration has revealed that the magnificent complex is above all a prison intended to permanently confine the old god of death, Yogg-Saron. This ancient whore has corrupted its guards, and now it's breaking through the last of its restraints. Faced with the peril of Yogg-Saron's imminent freedom, a band of mortals has made preparation for a sweeping assault on the city, overcoming the legions of iron minions and towering defenses at the city's entrance will take tremendous strength, but even that great victory may not be enough to overcome the madness that dwells below. Then here's some Secret of Wooldoir transcript stuff. The Argent Tournament begins! As the might of the Scourge wanes under the pressure of Azeroth's heroes, the Argent Crusade has taken foothold in Arthas' backyard. I just picture Arthas looking out like, hey kids, what are you doing out there? We're holding an Argent Tournament! Oh, okay. Off the northeast coast of Icecrown, the Argent Crusade have sounded the call for the most bold and brave adventurers of the Horde and Alliance to take part in the Argent Tournament. A lot of people didn't like the Argent Tournament, but I didn't mind it. I thought it was alright. It was definitely different. And I don't think they've done anything like it since, really. But it was something. Representatives of all 10 faction capitals from Undercity to Exodar have traveled to the tournament grounds to find champions among their heroes who will prepare for the inevitable battle against the enemy of all living beings, the Lich King. Dave Arneson in memoriam. That's sad. They dedicated Secrets of Wooldoir in memory of Dave Arneson. Damn. Rip Dave. General. Due to significant talent tree revisions, all players have their talent points reversed. All ground mounts may now swim without dismounting the rider. Flying mounts still may not and will dismount the rider upon entering water. The Argent Tournament, a permanent in-game event, has come to Icecrown. Players interested in taking part in this event should be new ways of gaining rep with capital cities. All new daily quests, new rare epic items, tabards, pets, banners, faction shirts, mounts, and more. Mounted combat. Players level 40 and higher will now be able to visit their trainer to pay a one-time fee of 1,000 gold and access dual talent spec. Wow. I can't believe this is when they introduced dual talent specs. Like, people wanted this for so long. I remember because everyone was like, oh my god, finally. Finally. But you still had to, like, pay a lot for it. And I don't think you do anymore. I think it's just you get 2 talent specs. The achievement Brew of the Year has been removed from the Brewmaster meta achievement. The achievement Brew of the Month has been added in its place. I think I got this one. Noble Garden has been redesigned into a week-long holiday, and it's still not good. Applying a glyph no longer requires a lexicon of power. The same rules for switching between dual talent specs now apply to switching glyphs and cannot be performed while in combat. New music can be heard at the Argent Tournament grounds and in Wooldoir. What do you... I don't even know what happens with Noble Garden, to be honest. That's just... Maybe... I'm sure there's somebody out there that has the same nostalgia with Noble Garden that I do with, like, the Midsummer Fire Festival, but... I don't know. PvP. Enemy unit frames. This feature is only available while in arenas, with several options in the interface. Wait, enemy unit frames? They didn't have those? Okay. Let's see. Battlegrounds. Alterac Valley. I think Alterac Valley was already destroyed at this point. Lake Winter Grasp. Oh yeah, Winter Grasp. I enjoyed Winter Grasp. A lot of people didn't like Winter Grasp. I really liked Winter Grasp. I had a lot of fun. I thought it was fun to do some PvP, take over the zone, and then get to do a little, like, mini-raid type thing. And I thought it was well executed. And then they tried it again in Cataclysm with Tol Barad, was that it? And it just wasn't the same. It wasn't good. Yeah, it just wasn't as cool. Like, this had siege engines. You're, like, destroying shit with your siege engines. Some people had to do other like, I don't know. It just felt like more was going on. And then it felt like it would go back and forth with who won it. And then Tol Barad hit, and it didn't feel right. I don't know why it didn't feel right. It had that feeling to it of like, this isn't as good. Races. Command. Orc Racial. Applies to Hunter pets, and now correctly applies to Death Knight pets. Gift to the Naru. The heal's been changed to an instant cast heal over time. Stone Form. No longer makes you immune to poison, disease, and bleed effects for 8 seconds. Instead, using Stone Form will clear those effects when cast. Cooldown reduced to 2 from 3 minutes. Armor Pen. All classes now receive 25% more benefit from Armor Pen. There's a bunch of stat stuff. Here come the class notes. Class notes are always just like... There's so many things. Professions. All flasks now last 1 hour. To compensate, all flask recipes will provide 2 flasks for the same material cost. Wowee. Blackmouth oil and fire oil no longer require a vial. You can now sometimes find alchemist caches from bosses in Wooldoir. Blacksmithing. Titan Steel Spellblade. I remember that. Let's see. Cooking. New recipes been added to cooking trainers for making black jelly. Ho ho, my favorite. Flint and tinder is no longer necessary for creating a campfire. You're just that resourceful. And here's where the game ended, folks. This is where World of Warcraft ended. They said, hey, you don't need flint and tinder anymore. And personally, that was my last straw. I uninstalled, and I never played World of Warcraft again. For real, though. This is like one of those types of things where it's like flint and tinder, you needed arrows. Just those like little RPG elements that I can see why they did it. It's kind of streamlining the game, making it like, hey, I guess make a campfire wherever. And it's kind of nice, but at the same time, I think that's why a lot of people want classic WoW again, right? You want to go buy your arrows. You want to get flint and tinder to do a campfire, right? You're like, hey, let's make a campfire. And you're like, oh, we need to get flint and tinder. Like, you're on a quest now. It's not, you're on a quest that's not even a quest. You gotta go get that flint and tinder and make that campfire, and you're like, yeah, I did it. And there's that little gratification in there. And so I'm pretty excited about that. I should make like a pointless top 10 items you needed to buy that were like that aren't in the game anymore, like got removed, like arrows, flint and tinder, all that. Grub now sells recipe Dig Rat Stew. Okay. Calamity Surprise. Prospector Kazgorm, found in Bale Modan in Southern Barrens, now sells the recipe for Dig Rat Stew. Whoa, so much Dig Rat Stew going around. Enchanting, Engineering, First Aid. You no longer need to complete the Tri-Age quest to attain Artisan First Aid. Find Herbs no longer tracks Glow Caps. Northrend Herbs now yield more herbs on average. Again, So we start ruining the game, man. Let's see. Quests. Horde characters may now obtain the cluck from chickens. While Farmer Saldine won't be selling special chicken feed to the Horde, perhaps Westfall, William Saldine, and Brill might. Whoa! Dungeon raids. New dungeon maps been added. UI stuff. New advanced features for quest tracking are now available. Players will need to activate this option within the interface panel. Colorblind options. Hooray! I'm not colorblind, but I know Sam is. Sam's stripping. So he was probably happy with that. Shadow quality has a new higher level of detail. New video mode Ultra. Oh, this is when they added Ultra into the game. Items. Glyphs. Druid. Mage. Priest. Alright. Bug fixes. Leaving a group while in an instance will now port you to the nearest graveyard rather than your Hearthstone location. Yar! Now has a detailed tooltip. And I think that's pretty much it for this patch. Let's back it up. So that was Wooldoir. Oh, here's where they implemented the Equipment Manager. Equipment Manager. When enabled from the interface options menu, this feature will allow players to store sets of equipment, easily swap between save sets using hotkeys, etc. Obviously, you know what the Equipment Manager is, but this is when they added it in. We got PvP vehicle health, and then just some other stuff that doesn't really matter too much. Main thing was just Equipment Manager in that patch. Let's see. Then we had Call of the Crusade. How many patches were there? Oh, there's only those. Call of the Crusade. Release of Crusaders Coliseum. Release of Isle of Conquest. Arena Season 7. Re-release of Nixie's Lair. Oh, that was patch 3.2.2. Hold on, let's do this. Okay. Patch trailer. That's not implemented well. Call of the Crusade. Since the opening of the Argent Tournament in Northeastern Icecrown Adventure. Wait, was this the raid? I think this was the raid. Yeah, that's what it was. Isle of Conquest. Oh yeah, Isle of Conquest was pretty alright. I didn't mind the Isle of Conquest. It was pretty fun. But after a while, I was like, I got tired of it. Let's see. Oh yeah, construction of the Crusaders Coliseum is complete. So that's what they had. Trial of Champion, Trial of Crusader, Trial of the Grand Crusader. Argent Tournament expands. New dungeon loot feature. Players will now be able to trade soulbound items with other raider group members that are eligible for the loot. This is when they added that in. So this is just another thing taken for granted now that wasn't even added until a middle of the pack Wrath of the Lich King patch. Like, wowee. Oh, this is when they added the cat and bear form updates as well for Night Elves and Tarn. PvP, Battlegrounds. Oh, this is when they made a lot of these changes. The game now ends when one team reaches 1,600, down from 2,000. Yeah, it used to be 2,000. Time requires capture a base, been reduced to 8 seconds from 10. So they're like, yo, we gotta speed these things up, man. Let's see, Dungeons and Raids, Dungeon and Raid ID extensions, emblem system changes, Wooldoir. Tarn now the option of changing skin tone by visiting the barber shop. Let's see. The amount of agility required per percentage of dodge has been increased by 15%. Mounts. Cast time for summoning any ground or flying mount is now 1.5 second, down from 3 seconds. Mamma mia. Apprentice riding skill can now be learned at level 20 for 4 gold. This is when they changed all the mount requirements as well. Journeyman at level 40 for 50 gold. Expert riding level 60 for 600 gold. Artisan riding. Faction discounts now apply. Flying over Dalaran Wintergrass is now possible so long as players keep a healthy distance above the ground. In order to further equalize the number of purchasable mounts available to each race, a new 60% speed ground mount has been added for Night Elves, and a 100% speed ground mount has been added for the Undead. Huh. Alright. Interesting. That's kind of a crazy patch for being such a, like, middle-of-the-road patch. Let's see. Frame rates for the Shadowfed. Wolvar and Gorlock orphans have arrived in Dalaran and need your help. I remember when this happened. Dude, I remember that. Yeah, you had to take care of the little Wolvar or Gorlock orphan. I think I took the Gorlock orphan. Let's see. Quests, Ravasaur Trainer. That's pretty much it for this patch. Let's see. Oh, wait, what was that other one? Re-release of Nixie's Lair. That's what I wanted to see. Bloop. Let's see. It's a content patch that includes a revamp of Nixie at a level 80 content in celebration of World of Warcraft's 5th anniversary. Damn. The 5th year anniversary. Man, we're at like 15 years now. This makes you just feel old, you know? At least makes WoW feel old. The Brood Mother returns. After years of lurking in her lair, battling the many brave adventurers who traveled from afar to challenge her, Nixie returns to commemorate World of Warcraft's 5-year anniversary. Scaled to 1025 player models in level 80, adjusted for modern rating. Now drop level 80 item versions of same classic loot from the 60 encounter. Brood of Onyxia. Very rare 310% speed mount modeled after Nixie herself will be available for the luckiest of challengers. Armor Pen. The amount of armor pen gained per point of this rating has been reduced. And I mean, I think that's just the main thing of this expansion. Or this patch. All that happened in this expansion was Onyxia. Let's see. Battleground queuing. Players may now only queue for no more than 2 battlegrounds at a time. Oh my god. I'll queue for all the battlegrounds. Alright. And then we had Fall of the Lich King. Release of the Icecrown Citadel. Kalwak Fishing Derby. Cross-server LFG. Oh, this is when they had the cross-server LFG. I forgot they didn't even have cross-server until now. Or until then. Bug fixes, spell changes, dungeon balancing, Arena Season 8, updated battleground system, class balancing, release of the Ruby Sanctum cross-realm faction game chat, bug fixes. Let's take a look. Let's see. Icecrown Citadel. Hey, it's the Icecrown Citadel. Ready to fight Arthas? Cross-realm Dungeon Finder. The Dungeon Finder is now available, providing players with quick, easy access to 5-player parties. This feature connects all realms within a battle group using an advanced matchmaking system. Getting started in quest tracking. A number of changes have been made to World of Warcraft's introductory experience, including updated character and class info at the character selection screen. Oh, this is when they added like all the helping things. Let me hold your hand, Tibby. Icecrown Citadel, 3 separate 5-player dungeons, a Forge of Souls, Pit of Saran, Halls of Reflection. I didn't really like any of those, to be honest. Oh yeah, Halls of Reflection is the one with Sylvanas. I remember that. Character creation. The description for races, classes, Bapadoo have been improved. Let's see. Oh wait, level 1 characters no longer start with food or water in their inventory. What? I forgot that was even a thing, too. You used to start with food and water in your inventory. Attack is now called Auto Attack. Meeting Stones. To use any Meeting Stone, it is only required that the character's minimum level be 15. Interesting. Let's see. Anything else here? Anything crazy? Anything crazy? UI? Quest tracking feature. I think it was when they added in quest tracking. So I remember that didn't used to be a thing. There's now a looking for raid option available to players that can be accessed via the raid info screen, LFR. Graphics, professions, quests. I think that's pretty much it for this one. Let me just make sure. Doop, doop, doop. Yeah, that's pretty much it for this patch. Then, let's see. This one had some dungeon balancing and stuff. Anything crazy, though? Anything crazy? Party leader is now referred to as a guide in chat when a group is formed via the Dungeon Finder. Wow. Let's see. Really, the Ruby Sanctum patch. Let's take a look at this one. Sultan Ruby Sanctum. I remember this. I tried it a few times, and I wasn't a big fan of it. Oh, this is when they added in Real ID. I remember that. We want to create a framework for online gaming. I remember they made you, like, use your real name on the forums and stuff. You remember that? I forgot all about that. Do you remember when they first launched Real ID, and they were like, your real name will be used on the forums, and everyone was like, I don't want this because, like, I have a job. People are going to know who I am. Like, people can search this on, like, WoWcrendor. Like, blah. It was just Such a dumb idea. And they're like, hey, sorry about that. We'll change that. And then they did. Let's see. General, Ruby Sanctum. It was okay. User interface, chat frame. Friends list. A new icon has been added to the top left of the chat frame. And more real ID stuff. Let's see. What was the other thing? Class balancing. I think I've skipped over this one. What was this? The amount of honor awarded for an honorable kill has been increased by 100% for all levels. Wait, I feel like I skipped over something I was wanting to look at. All weekly quests now reset during each region's scheduled maintenance, rather than at a single global time. Several raid buffs have had their ranges increased. Death Knights. What was I? There's something I just mentioned. Wait, all alert pop-ups now have new and fresh alert icons. Auction House. If the auction house is on a realm. If the auction house on a realm is unavailable for any reason, an alert will pop up. Okay. Authenticator frame, world map, achievements, frame rate, max capacity of 200 frames per second has been added. Oh, the Kalawak fishing day. That's what I missed. How did I skip over that? Where is it? Where's my fishing derby? Where is it? Kalawak? Where is it? Fishing? It's probably under professions, yeah? Professions. Fishing. The all-new Kalawak Fishing Derby. A test of fishing skill with a healthy dash of luck has come to Northrend. Every Saturday at 2 p.m., players can try to catch the elusive black-tip shark. Elder Clearwater sits in Dalaran for 1 hour awaiting the return of the quickest, most experienced fisher to bring him this shark. This champion fisher will be rewarded in kind for returning with the first catch. Those who aren't able to return with the first catch will still receive the reward for getting the black-tip shark to the Elder Clearwater before he takes his leave. It is said that the shark's favorite meal are the bite-sized pygmy suckerfish. Perhaps a hook in their waters will do the trick. Damn, do they still? I don't think they have this, because they used to have they had the Stranglethorn fishing tournament, and then they had this one, and I don't think they've had any of them after that. I wish they brought back more of those. I thought those were cool. I don't know. Yeah, they should do some more, or like bring them back. Let's do some more Kalawak fishing or something. All right. Either way, that's all the Wrath of the Lich King patch notes. Again, if I missed anything, feel free to say it in the comment section below. Be like, you missed this thing in the patch notes, or point out some ones that you thought were cool. Either way, I think it's fun going back and reading all these patch notes. If you want to see my previous two for TBC or Vanilla Classic WoW, I'll put those at the end of the video right now. And in the description as well. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Okay. See ya.